He wants to fight Shaolin's champion to see whose style and skill is superior." "Why are the monks so angry?" Pierre asked. "They are kung fu masters. Isn't this what they do?" "Almost never," I said. "Mostly they train, teach the occasional foreigner, and perform for tourists. Challenge matches are infrequent. I've only seen one. It is considered incredibly rude to walk into someone else's school and offer an open challenge. It's contemptuous." "I will fight him," Caine continued. "I will beat him to death." Coach Yan held up his hand. "Let me think for a moment." Coach Yan was as calculating as Caine was spontaneous. At age 25, he was also older than the 19-year-old Caine and his superior at the temple, so Caine fell silent. Coach Yan had the perfect face for a kung fu movie villain, a kind of striking ugliness. His eyebrows slashed upward, his cheekbones punched out from his face, and his dark skin was pocked with acne scars. I liked him, but I was careful around him. Or at least I was until that night. Coach Yan was staring off into the near distance. He had Shaolin's honor to consider. This was further complicated by the presence of the French journalist. The Shaolin monks had been touring Europe off and on over the last 3 years and had become extremely popular there. Pierre's photo essay would help them considerably, so Coach Yan had to consider Shaolin's international reputation. Watching Caine, my friend and teacher, stew in his rage made me feel like I had to say something. "I will fight him," I offered. I didn't mean it, of course. I was just being polite, the way you're supposed to be polite in Chinese, whether you are sincere or not. It was a gesture to show my fellowship, my team spirit. And I knew there was no way Coach Yan would take up my offer. Shaolin was crawling with expert fighters in their prime who had trained for a decade or longer. Even after 9 months of training, I was a beginner at best. Besides, I was Lao Wai, literally old outsider, a polite term for white foreigners. After making my faux offer, I waved the waitress over to order another round of Bai Jiu. I turned to see Coach Yan looking at me with a slight smirk. "Bao Monsieur," Coach Yan said, using my full Chinese name. "Mosi, Matthew, and Bao, Polly, will fight him first." Caine was incredulous. "He cannot fight him first," he protested. "I am his teacher. I will fight first." What he didn't say, but which was implicit, was that Caine considered himself to be Shaolin's best martial artist. Almost everyone else did as well. Coach Yan was asking the team's star player to step aside for a fourth-string bench warmer. The panic must have been obvious on my face because Coach Yan's smirk widened ever so slightly as he responded, "No, the Lao Wai will fight him first." Caine wasn't ready to give in yet. "You cannot let him fight first. What if he loses? This is a matter of Shaolin's reputation, Shaolin's face." Coach Yan finished another shot of Bai Jiu. "I am thinking of Shaolin's face. If the Lao Wai loses, no face is lost, because everyone knows that Lao Wai are no good at kung fu. And we will have had a chance to study the stupid egg's fighting style. Then you'll have an easier time beating him. But if the Lao Wai wins, then Shaolin will gain much face. It will demonstrate that the Shaolin Temple is so great that even its Lao Wai disciples can beat a Chinese master of another style." As they continued the debate, I felt an overwhelming fear grip me in the gut and squeeze like a hunter field dressing his kill. I stood up with every intention of fleeing until I saw that the entire table was looking at me. "I will be back in a moment. I need to use the restroom." I waved half-heartedly at my glass. "Too much booze." Willing myself not to run, I sauntered as nonchalantly as possible to the outhouse and back, the concrete hole-in-the-ground cesspit standard in rural China. I crouched inside that box for several minutes, my mind racing through various possibilities for escaping the situation. Fake an injury? Disappear? Unfortunately, there were none that did not involve a tremendous personal loss of face. And then there was my teacher's loss of face to consider. Although I had been in China less than a year, their value system had already sunk in too deep for me to actually back down. I walked back to the table, holding on to the hope that maybe Coach Yan had changed his mind. He had not. "Bao Mosi, it is decided," Coach Yan said, an anticipatory glee in his eyes. "You will fight Master Wu in the training hall in 15 minutes. 15 minutes? "Let's go," Coach Yan said. Built by the Henan provincial government as a tourism center in 1989, the Shaolin Wushu